So a lot of people ask me about these key groups. They buy the pack. This is on my Bandcamp. But when they go and look at the pack, they say like, there's no sounds inside of the pack. If you play them, you hear sound, but if you go deep, there's actually no audio file except for a wave file. So basically what this is doing is using a single wave file. Let's get here to the samples. It's just using a WAV file like that. So it's just a sine wave or a square wave or a sawtooth wave. You sample it in and you put it on a key group. So it's just a wave, okay? And what's happening here is that the wave file is looping over and over again. So we have a wave file that's looping. And if I turn that off, let's go into the other key group. Turn that off. Another key group, turn that off. So I have 5 different groups inside of this key group, and each of the groups has a wave file, has just a wave that's looping, okay? So look, this one right here, layer 2, there's nothing on layer 2, 3, but layer 2 and layer 1 have a sample, have a WAV file looping. And that's basically how the whole pack is built. It's built around the idea of just having less files as possible, just to make it a very light key group, light pack. It's just very small. Like this one is looping as well. If you take the looping off, then you have absolutely nothing. Once you loop something, so basically that's what's happening. I'm just looping waves, and that's it. That's why the pack is called waves. And you can sample a sine wave, or you can sample different type of waves. It doesn't really matter. You can probably took this off of a kick and just loop that. You can take any type of sample and loop it. Let's go to another one. So the great thing about looping a wave file, it never really stops unless you take your fingers off of the pads or off of the keys. It will loop indefinitely. And you know, the great thing about this is that you can really create some deep sounds from this type of key group, because you can layer so many different WAV files and give them different features for each individual wave, that you know, you can just get really crazy and get really creative with the sounds that you create off of this. So delay triangle, let's see what's inside of this. So let's go into the program. So we have this triangle wave working right here. It's looping forwards. There's nothing on layer 2, just layer 1. Obviously you can filter each of the groups, give a different taste. You can pan it to the right or to the left. You have some modulation, you can filter it. This is just on group number 1, which means you can really layer a bunch of samples, a bunch of waves, and you know, pan one wave to one side, pan another wave to the other side, add a reverb to the one on the right, add a delay to the wave on the left. You just, you know, you can just get deep into this, and because it's just a very small file, it won't weigh on your processor. Obviously you can go and give effects to each of the wave files. Okay, you got the modulation for each of the groups. You can filter each of the groups. You can layer several waves on the same group, pan each wave to one side and another wave to the other side. So that's basically how this works. Okay, let's go into the mixer. So pad mixer, okay, and we can see our key groups right here. So we have these key groups playing. You can mix in between the sounds. That you can do it in the program, or you can do it here. I'm going to do it here because it's easier for you to see. Okay. I'm literally scratching the surface on this. I haven't added any effects to this wave right here, to the key group number 1. This one has a reverb, and these ones have nothing. So you can really get deep into this type of workflow. So let's get into another key group. Okay, let's get into the program. Let's have a look at this. Let's get into the samples right here. Again, it's a sawtooth, 2, 3, nothing on 5. Okay, there's literally nothing to this. If you take the loop off, you only hear the clicks. Loop it. So what's happening with this one? Let's go into the modulation. There's something happening with the filter and the amp. Take that out. We have some filtering happening right here. The envelope is open. I'm working with the filter envelope as well at the same time. I mean, you can get deep into this and just change it until you find sounds. Back into the filter. Let me open this up again. Let's go into the modulation. Okay, and this is just one single waveform looping. No effects. Oh, there's a chorus in here. If you add a delay to this wave, let's go add some delay to this. Let's go into another key group. This is just a very spatial type of. If you want, you can now add another wave with some delay in the back just to create a bit of texture, of granular texture. It would be better to be playing with the MIDI keyboard here. I'm sorry about that. Let's quickly jump on to another one. Okay, so this one actually only has one key group. It's just one sample with different layers, but they're detuned a little bit. So this one, the semi, goes a little bit down. So it's the same wave on the key group, but they're detuned, and you can create this type of sound. Use the filter, use the modulation. This is what's inside this pack. It's just a very simple way to use your key groups. You can download waves from the internet. You can sample something and just trim down to a wave and then loop that. I mean, there's plenty of ways to do this. But that's what's inside of the pack, and that's why some people think that there's nothing in there. It's because the key group is actually looping a wave file this big. There are so many ideas that you can create from this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.